Hey, this is Majinoni. Here's my review for Inuyashiki Volume 1 and 2. Now, this is from the creator of Gans. So it has this like very realistic look to it. And you know it's going to end up being really super violent. Basically, the story centers around two people, Hiro and Inuyashiki. Now, Inuyashiki, he's actually younger than what he looks like. He's got a family. His family despises him. His kids are basically, they feel embarrassed because he looks like their grandfather. And, he's just a guy who's just trying to do right, for his family. But his family just dumps on him. The manga starts with him moving into a new home. And his family's like really super impressed. I mean, like, they're looking at the place. They're like, wow, you did really good. This really expensive car pulls out, and it's Oda, from One Piece. The creator of One Piece is in there, and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna be neighbors." And then it turns out that he didn't buy into that building. He has this little tiny house behind it, and his family is just thoroughly disgusted and disappointed with him. Well, everything seems. I mean, it's already bad enough for him at that point, but he learns that he's got stomach cancer and he's going to die soon. So he's really like on his last leg of like happiness. I mean, what else is he going to do now type thing. He's not even going to be around for his family. So he's out in the park, and there's the other guy I mentioned, Hito. And they're just standing there, and then suddenly from space I'll just word it as an unforeseen accident happens, and they're killed and then reconstructed, but they're not quite human anymore. Like, for an example, you can see him here, there. He basically has like a lot of robotics now, and his arm turned into a gun. He's definitely a very changed person. Now, in this volume here, it's basically the story centers around Inuyashiki and what he does with his abilities and what his overall goal is. This volume 2 is centered around Hito. Hito goes to his classmate and reveals himself that he's not quite human. His classmate Jiro, he hasn't been going to school because he's been bullied, and he's kind of showing off his powers, but basically saying that it's magic tricks. Well, he does convince his friend to go to school, but that night he then decides to use his powers for evil. He walks into a house, kills the family. He kills. Actually, he kills a couple families through this evening, and it's eventually what's going to happen is you can tell these two are going to be on a collision course, and they're going to fight. He uses his powers even to like kill the classmates that are bullying his friend. He uses it to withdraw money from ATMs. He's not a very nice person, especially since he can pretty much kill, and he even comes out and says, "Look, nobody can do anything about it. I'm indestructible." So it's gonna be. I don't know. I guess you can say it's one of those classic storylines where you have this really super powerful being, and then there's the. Typically, it's like a younger person who has to rise up and win, but this time it's actually a more feeble person who's on death's door who's got to rise up now and challenge the evil that just is formed in Tokyo. Overall, I liked it. It's a totally different pacing than Gantz, and which is good actually. And I'm curious to see where this is going to go. If they're going to bring in new people. Obviously, the aliens are probably going to have to get involved again at some point. There's a lot of cultural references. Like you'll see posters for Gantz. There's references to One Piece, Attack on Titan, things like that. So it kind of grounds it in to modern day. Overall, I like it. It is adult in the sense that there's some pretty decent killings, but so far there hasn't been crazy nudity and stuff like that. Well, I guess there's a couple people got killed in the bathtub, but it's not like they were nude, or I mean, like they didn't show body parts or anything like that. So, but anyways, highly recommended if you're looking for something a little bit different, something more mature, something that's not Shonen Jump, so to speak. If you have any other comments or questions, let me know. Like, share. We'll have some more reviews and stuff later. So until next time.